Okay, it's rap pack to my pulse flat. We keep it real, no false rap. I got 4 cars and they all black. Got 4 bras and they all that. We call that ballin'.
Hello everyone, welcome to a guide of how you can kill Corporeal Beast either duo or even solo. But before I begin talking about the guide, you will need to complete Summer's End quest to actually access the Corporeal Beast dungeon to actually kill it. So the gear that I am using, you will see towards the bottom right corner. I am using full Tetsu, which is from player owned ports, Amulet of Fury, Killing Cape, Steadfast Boots, Barrel Gloves, Ring of Life, Sign of Life, and the Zamorakian Spear with a Bandos Godsword in my inventory. So the cape, honestly, I don't think it really matters. If you have a Killing Cape, use it. If you don't, try use a Fire Cape. If you don't have that, just use a Skill Cape. And Amulet, I don't think that really matters either, but if you want the best amulet for strength or attack damage, it would be the Ceradoman Whisper, which is, I looked on the wiki, it said 36 for attack, and the Fury is 32 for all 3 combat styles. But if you can't afford the Fury, just go with a Glory and you should be fine. And the boots, there's not really much to choose from. You can easily go with the Dragon Boots, which are probably like 60k. Or if you got some money, you can buy the Steadfast Boots, which are about like maybe 15 mil last time I bought them. The armor, it all depends on your level, obviously. If you can't afford or you don't have the Tetsu armor that I have from Player 1 ports, go down to Torva. If you can't afford that, go to Barrows or Bandos. Either of those armors will be fine, but if you go lower than that, I think you will have a really hard time to solo it. So the Ring, I really highly recommend using the Ring of Life, just in case you DC, since lately there's DDoSers hitting RuneScape servers. So I would highly recommend bringing Ring of Life. And if you actually don't trust your internet connection like I don't, Ring of Life will be very helpful. But if you think you'll be fine, you can use a Berserker Ring, or if you want to be lucky with maybe a drop, try use the Ring of Wealth. And the other items that I recommend is a Sign of Life, just in case you DC or you don't eat and you get down to 0 hit points. The Sign of Life will heal you maybe about like 2,000 health points, which is nice. And you can use the aura of Vampirism, which heals you, or the Pendants, which whenever you get hit, it restores your prayer points. And I highly recommend either using a Bandos Godsword or a Steady as Warhammer to use the special attack, so it lowers the Corporeal Beast defense. So right now I will be showing you guys how I kill the Corporeal Beast in EOC, and the next kill I will be showing you guys how I do it in Legacy, just to show you guys both combat modes and showing you guys that you could easily do it in both combat modes. So I forgot to mention one more thing. You can also use the Chaotic Spear. You just need to buy the 20 spikes, which are 200k Dungeoneering tokens, and you will need 80 Dungeoneering to actually do it. And all you have to do is just use those 20 spikes on the Zamorakian Spear to make it a Chaotic Staff. But for some tips in EOC, make sure you use Devotion. It's the keybind V for me on the screen. It's a very helpful ability, and if you don't have it, you have to go to God Wars dungeon, kill any of the 4 bosses, or even maybe Nex. I don't know if Nex counts as one, but if you kill them, you have a chance of receiving the Devotion ability, Sacrifice, and there's one more, but it's not very useful here. So Devotion is very helpful because it will last for 10 seconds, and it acts like the old school prayer, you can say, where if you use, like, let's say Protect from Melee, Magic, or Range, you would get hit 0s, but on EOC you'll be getting hit 1s, so it's very helpful for those 10 seconds. And use it whenever you can, whenever it stops cooling down, so you don't get hit as much. It's very helpful. And feel free to copy my ability bar. I use this and I do fine using this bar. I don't think it's the best, but it does help me kill it a lot faster. So for some tips for the Corporeal Beast, this both includes EOC and Legacy mode. There will be a energy core that will spawn usually halfway in the kill, or even 1/4 in the kill. I got pretty lucky and it spawned very late for me in EOC 1. Whenever it does, you have to move 2 blocks away from it, which means 1 block in between each other. I have a clip that pauses and shows you. Make sure you're 1 block away from it. If you don't, the dark energy will hit you constantly for about 200 to 500 HP every second. And if you kill it, I'm pretty sure it'll respawn. I actually don't bother trying to kill it because it's kind of a waste of time. You just gotta keep on hitting corp. And another thing is, do not go under the corporeal beast. If you go under it, it will stomp on you, and it could hit a max of 400 plus. So pretty much half of your health. So if you're pretty low health, it will hit like a 400 and you could possibly die. So watch out for that. And that's why I stay on one side of the corporeal beast. As you can see, I'm running back and forth. Don't bother trying to move to another side to dodge the dark energy because they'll just go right under you. So just going back and forth is fine. And if you're doing this with duos, have one person on one side like I am, and then the other person on one side of it, so the dark energy doesn't go under both of you guys, and you don't have to both go back and forth every single time, so you guys don't have to be all clustered and stuff. So I am showing the legacy one now. It's the exact same thing. You just don't have the helpful abilities like devotion to help you out with not getting hit as much. But I'm just showing you guys just to let you know that you can easily solo in legacy if you guys prefer legacy over EOC. I personally like them both, but I would lean towards EOC a little bit more since there's very helpful abilities for you to use if you have them. And you have to do the exact same thing. As you can see, the energy core spawned pretty early for me, so all you have to do is just run back and forth once again. And I think I did get hit a few times by the energy core, which you will see in a second. And it does hit small amounts, but it is very constant. So you just gotta keep on moving back and forth, and you should be fine. And if you are doing a duo, if you have the herbo level to actually buy or make adrenaline potions, make sure to just burn one of them. They're pretty helpful to gain your special attack back. You only can use it every 2 minutes, so once you sip it, it gains back 25% special attack or 25% of your abilities, like the percentage, so you can like use your ultimate abilities if you want to use those a lot faster, which I personally brain adrenaline potions when I do, so they help quite a lot for me at least. One more thing I forgot to mention, that I require that you have at least 90 plus stats in attack, defense, and strength, and then having 95 plus prayer for turmoil, and then 96 herb lore plus to have the overloads. Now if you don't have overloads or turmoil but you do have 99 stats, I think you can easily do it if you have max combat stats, of course. And now if you don't have those stats that I require or recommend, at least you can try it, but I doubt that you can actually solo it. You'll probably get close to the kill, but you won't have enough food to actually finish the kill off with the corporeal beast. And if you guys don't know, you actually can't even use beast of burdens here, so that's why I'm not using one. The corporeal beast just eats it or just kills it, so that's why I'm not using one in the clips, if you guys were wondering about that. And to duo, just if you want to duo, you can pretty much have any stats, but I highly recommend having 70 plus stats. I believe I think it's 70 for the Zamorakian spear. And if you have 70 plus stats and you have another friend that has like maybe 70-80 plus stats, you guys can easily solo it, but you guys won't have the maximum kills a trip. Maybe you guys can kill it once or twice a trip. And if you guys are kind of high leveled, you can get up to like 5 kills. That's the max amount of kills I got in one trip with a friend of mine when we duoed. And right now, after this clip is finished, I will show you guys what happens when you die. You actually don't have a gravestone when you die, so just don't panic whenever you die. You have plenty of time to actually get back to your grave. So I am showing you guys that I just died. And once you die, you have 3.5 minutes to actually get back to your items, and then after those 3.5 minutes, there will be 1 minute where players can see all of your items and they can pick them up. So technically you have 4.5 minutes, and that's why I require that you having a sign of life and ring of life, just in case when you die and you're very unlucky and you disconnect. So that's why I personally use a ring of life and sign of life. And if you don't, just don't panic, just bring some food. I bring 10 sharks every time I die. And make sure you're stocked up on game necklaces in your bank. I have 20 game necklaces in my bank. I kept my game necklace because I didn't bring any armor. And it took me about like 40 seconds to get back to my items if I actually die with items. So you don't need to panic when you die. It's very easy to get back there. And that is about it for this Corporeal Beast guide. If you guys have any questions, make sure you leave them down in the comments below. I will try to answer them. Make sure you leave a like on the video. This took me a while to actually edit and record, so a like would be greatly appreciated. And of course, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.